Hello, I am the Siopao Guy, and today is the meta report for June 8th of 2023. Now, these are the last series of tournaments happening right before the ban list takes official effect. So the ban list is going to come up soon in the next tournament, and because of that, I don't want to talk about decks that have been hit by the ban list that did good in these tournaments. Obviously, Kashtira, Super Heavy Samurai, Purely, and Branded all did really well for themselves in these tournaments, some of them winning first place, but I don't want to discuss them because it's very unsure on where those decks are going to go in the next upcoming format. Instead of talking about the first place decks, I want to discuss these decks here, which are Vanquish Souls, Traptrix, and Gold Pride. These are three decks that I do believe are going to be very prevalent or appear a lot in the next upcoming format for a while. People are experimenting with them, so I do want to go and look into them just for these formats here, and maybe, just maybe, these decks will become the best decks in the next format once the ban list officially takes effect. And so let's talk about here the second place deck here. Vanquish Souls came from the Italy Nationals, won by Michelangelo Muelli, and it is an $850 deck. Yes, this second place deck here, which may or may not be the best deck of the next format, is around $850, almost $1,000. I do think this deck will reach $1,000 once the next format does, officially happen. And because of that, if you do happen to play Vanquish Souls, let it be known your bet count will hurt and will start crying here. But what makes Vanquish Souls really strong is the fact that this deck is very flexible. And I'm going to talk about here for Gold Pride Punk and for Traptrix, and even for Dynamorphia. Those are four decks that are very flexible in what they can do, and because of that flexibility, I do believe that these decks are able to adjust themselves to whatever strong decks they'll have to go deal with or compete with. And so for Vanquish Souls, we can look right here. We have got the Kaijus, we got the Nibiru's, we got triple Ash Blossom, we got triple Drone Lock, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 strong interactive tech cards, in the sense that they are really good in terms of interrupting opponents. And on top of that, these are one of the very few decks out there that can actually play There Can Be Only One. And if you flip There Can Be Only One on a lot of decks, they just have to insta scoop, and they have to hope and pray that they hard draw into the cards they want in order to get rid of it through a Harpy's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm, which right now is at semi-limited. And so let's talk about this deck here. We got Vanquish Souls. So the whole gimmick of Vanquish Souls is the fact that they can go and garner card advantage, interruption, through showing certain card effects in their hand, and because of that, also through their Link 1 card over here, which is like a 1-card combo starter that can go and get access to any Vanquish Souls monster from your deck through just having a Vanquish Souls monster that can easily be special summoned onto the field. They can get exactly the cards they really want and need, and it never ever feels like a brick, because the issue with like Nibiru at times for a lot of people's deck profiles, and that's why you see some of them have like 1 Nibiru or 2 Nibiru, or they just have Kaijus only purely in the side deck, is because these cards here a lot of times are bricks here. Let's be honest with you. They are very bricky, and you don't want them, and you really don't want to see them if you are ever going first. But with Vanquish Souls though, they can act as some form of for you getting extenders, or for you to get more search opportunities, while also being able to play through, if you are going second, play through a person's board or break it. So there is a lot of flexibility for Vanquish Souls here. But let's go to deck list right here. We have Vanquish Souls Soul Raisin. We have 3 of him. We have 3 Vanquish Soul Dr. Madlove, 3 Vanquish Soul Heavy Burger. We have ourselves 1 Vanquish Soul Pantera, 2 Vanquish Soul Caesar Velius, and 1 Vanquish Soul Pluton HG. Those are the Vanquish Souls monsters you can expect. I think like several of them are like 25 to 30 bucks each. I think like Soul Raisin is like 30 bucks, is another 30 bucks here each. So just getting these 6 cards on their own is going to like bank you like almost $200. But then we got the Kaijus here in Kaminga's a Sticky String Kaiju. We got 2 of him, 3 Nibiru the Primal Being, 3 Ash Blossom Enjoy Spring, 3 Drone Lockbird. This card did not get hit in the ban list, even though a lot of people are against it. We have 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 3 copies of Stake Your Soul, 2 copies of Vanquish Soul Continue, 1 copy of Vanquish Soul Dust Devil, and then we get to the extra deck here. We got 2 copies of Divine Arsenal Double A Zeus Sky Thunder, 1 copy of Evil Storm Exoton Knights, 1 copy of number 41 Baguska, 1 copy of Tornado Dragon, 1 copy of Zodiac Boardrow, and 1 copy of Zodiac Chickening. These 2 are used here specifically to go get the Zeus, but Diablosis being banned in the next upcoming formats, I do expect people to just run 1 Zeus, because people are running like double Access Code Talker and double Zeus in their extra decks. I think we're going to see a lot less of that. So these Zodiacs are meant to go into Zeus, and we have 1 Access Code Talker. We have the Nightmare package of Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Unicorn. 3 copies of Rock of the Vanquisher, the best card in your entire deck. This thing pretty much gets you done. Like this is just, if you have any Vanquish Soul monster, because you only need 1 Vanquish Soul monster, it's a link 1. Getting 1 of this will pretty much get your entire engine going. And then we got here 1 Security Dragon. That's what we get for the Vanquish Souls. So a lot of people are expecting this deck to be the best de facto deck in the next upcoming format. People are kind of skeptical about it because of how expensive it is. I don't think there'll be that much high representation of Vanquish Souls in future tournaments just because of how expensive this deck is. And I think there'll be alternate decks like Sword Soul, I think, taking its place back in the format in terms of high prevalency, along with other decks like Traptrix and even something like Golden Pride, which is very affordable. And so we go from the 2nd place Vanquish Souls deck to the Punk Gold Pride deck here. So Gold Pride Punk got top 4 in the Netherlands National Tournament. It cost around $650 to go for this deck and was piloted by Fabian Rulin. So when it comes to Punk here, people are still experimenting with Punk, even with Chaos Ruler not being active in the format anymore because it got banned. But people stopped playing Punk because Chaos Ruler is banned, but people are still utilizing it. People are still using the Punk engine because it's very versatile and you can go get your secret monsters off pretty darn easily, and you can go maintain, and if not, garner a lot of card advantage through them. So going to the deck profile here, we got 3 Triple Nibiru, the Primal Being here. People are running this card a lot here. We went from people only running 1 of them, putting 2 in the side deck, to now main decking 3 right off the bat. We have 1 copy of No Punk Ogre Dance, 1 copy of Gold Pride Nitro Head, 3 copies of No Punk Foxy Tune, 1 copy of No Punk Deer Note, 1 copy of Gold Pride Rollerballer, 3 copies of Gold Pride Leon, 1 copy of Punk Sharakusai, 2 copies of Gold Pride Captain Carey, 1 copy of Punk Wagon, 1 copy of Punk Madame Spider, 3 copies of Punk Xiamen. Then we get to the hand trap lineup here of 3 copies of Ash Blossom Joy Spring, 1 copy of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits, and then we have here 2 copies of Gold Pride Better Luck Next Time, 1 copy of Punk Jam Extreme Session, 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. Just like the Bureau, people are playing 3 of these instead of just 1 or 2, which I've seen a lot in previous formats. But then we got 2 copies of Triple Tactics Thrust, a very strong tech choice of a card, only not being seen played that much just because of how expensive it is. I think it's like $100 per copy now, so just having 2 copies of this is about $200 already. 2 copies of Book of Moon, 3 copies of Emergency Teleports, 1 copy of Gold Prize Start Your Engines, 3 Triple Infinite Permanents, and 1 copy of Juri Punk Dangerous Gabu. Now to the extra deck here, we have 1 copy of Gold Pride Pinballer, 1 copy of Punk Rising Carp, 1 copy of Psychic End Punisher, 1 copy of Punk Amazing Dragon, 1 copy of Adamantipator Risen Dragites, 1 copy of Crimson Blader, 1 copy of Jam Dragon Drive, 1 copy of Gold Price Star Leon, 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder, 1 copy of number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, 1 copy of Gold Pride Trade Carry, 1 copy of Access Code Talker, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Asa the Earth Charm removable, and then 1 copy of IP Masquerena. Now what makes the Punk engine and Gold Pride work so well together is the fact that Punk cards always require you to go pay life points in order to go get your searches down or to activate certain effects. All the Gold Pride monsters can be special summoned from your hand to the field and activate their effects if your opponent has more life points than you. And because of you paying life points, you are down in life points against your opponent, which means you are able to go special summoning something like Gold Pride Captain Carey, which allows you to go add more card advantage to your hand. So that's one of the key aspects of the Gold Pride and Punk engine, is the fact that you can definitely secure monsters and you can definitely secure being able to get card advantage, which you are always plussing on. You're always plussing on and playing this deck, which makes it ultra consistent. Punk Gold Pride allows you to go garner guard advantage very easily at the cost of little to nothing except for life points, so it is a negative if you're playing in the game 3s and time winds down. But the game has gotten faster, not just in like the speed of the game, but also the game has gotten shorter in terms of games ending within 30 to 35 minutes, which is a lot more faster and a lot more shorter compared to previous formats. So while the life point thing is scary for a lot of duels out there, especially for those long grind haul games out there, and with a lot of people expecting trap decks to be very strong in the next upcoming formats, I understand the scare and to why people are very skeptical on how powerful Gold Pride Punk can be. And now to the most affordable deck out there for the meta, we got Traptrix. This is a Traptrix deck profile from the top 8 Los Angeles WC Regional. It costs about $180, and this was piloted by Jonathan Gutierrez. So it comes to Traptrix. It's a grind heavy focus deck that also runs triple evenly matched. So if it does happen to go second, we got powerful going second cards like Ash Blossom and Impermanence and Evenly Match, which can kind of like win you the game all on its own. I'm surprised that this deck really even got top 8, but you know what? You combine that with the triple Kaijus here. You're seeing a lot of Kumongas, the sticky string Kaiju, appearing a lot. It used to be Gummy Seal Turtle being played a lot, along with the Mothra Kaiju, but now it's right now Kumongas just because of its like low attack and low defense. But when you go to Traptrix here, we got triple Parallax Seed, triple Kumongas Sticky String Kaiju, 2 copies of Traptrix Dianea, 3 copies of Traptrix Maramello, 3 copies of Traptrix Mantis, 2 copies of Traptrix Arachnocampa, 3 copies of Traptrix Putica, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 2 copies of Traptrix Garden, 1 copy of Bottomless Trap Hole, 3 copies of Evenly Match, 2 copies of Floodgate Trap Hole, 2 copies of Gravedigger's Trap Hole, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, 1 copy of Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare, 3 copies of Traptrix Holotea, and 1 copy of Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. And then we go to the extra deck here. We have 1 copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder, 1 copy of Belaguska, 1 copy of Traptrix Pinguo Cola, 1 copy of Time Thief for Doer, 1 copy of Traptrix Olameras, 1 copy of Evil Swarm Exciton Knights, 2 copies of Traptrix Rafflesia, 1 copy of Axis Code Talker, 1 copy of Asa the Earth Charm Removable, 1 copy of Traptrix Typus, 3 copies of Traptrix Sarah, and 1 copy of Lingaribo, with Lightning Storm being semi-limited to 2, along with Harpy Spectre being limited still at 1. It's very much guaranteed that the trap-based player is going to win at game 1, and then once they get to game 2 and game 3, the more combo-centric players have to hope that they draw into their anti-backrow cards in order to go and win. I like to point out that there was also representation for Labyrinth and Dynamorphia decks as well in these 3 respective tournaments. So with that being known here, what do you think? What do you think will be the best deck in the upcoming format? Do you think Vanquish Souls, Punk Gold Pride, and Traptrix will still be strong in the next format? What do you think about decks like Math Mech, Kashtira, Super Heavy Samurai? What do you think about them coming into this new format? Do you still believe Branded will be a threat? Leave the comments down below. Once again, this is the Siopao Guy giving you the meta report for June 8th, 2023. And so until next time, see you guys later.